episode today, or this evening, I'd like to talk about the reality that all of what we're going for in gymnastics is internal. Everything is internal. What do I mean by that? All the things, acceleration, momentum, tightness, bounce, the idea of squeeze, straighten, point, all of these commands, all of these words lead to a physical sensation. So listen, the deeper we can get the athlete and coach, it'd be great if we get both of them, at least from a understanding, comprehension point of view from the coach, and also and actually firsthand experience. The more you can experience what we're talking about, the more you can connect and relate, to what the athlete is experiencing. So the deeper we can get them to sense what's happening, where the initial movement is coming from, the more control we have, the more mastery we have in our movement, the calmer the being is, because with control we have peace. We have a calm nervous system, and with a calm nervous system we have clear, controlled action. When that nervous system is essentially riled up, we become into our heads, and we can't feel what's going on. Bottom line, we can't feel our bodies, and that's when mistakes happen, or missteps happen, simply because we can't feel. So what I like to do is to do simple things, as far as simply rocking back and forth or side to side, sensing the weight. I like back and forth because we do a lot of this tumbling stuff. So for instance, you have these girls, or maybe even boys, let's just say athletes, that before their pass, you'll see a lot of this, it reminds me of like Looney Tunes, when, like, say Roadrunner gets a wheel spinning and then it takes off. It's like all these empty movements, but a lot of energy spent just kind of getting the feet moving, and then we go kinda. What I've done recently is just simply have them rock back and forth, and then recognize forward. Essentially, they're on their toes a bit. You see the structure lean forward a bit. You feel them return to good posture, that's center, and you feel them lean back. And then you have them go back and forth from these sensations, forward and back, forward and back. And then from here, from back to on the way forward, we just support the forward movement, and then the steps go. That way, again, control is established. A lot of times we try to get these kids to go quickly, go powerful. And what I'm realizing is that they know, they kind of know what the end goal is. They don't know what it's supposed to feel like. So in this motion, you start to get this body's natural, its natural power, for lack of a better word and explanation. Because the body is inherently powerful. This is one of the principles that I like to explain to the kids, is that the body is inherently powerful. You have strength in your body, or else you won't be standing. Or simply the fact that you have weight to you. You drop a 5-pound weight on your foot, there's damage. Emotional damage. Maybe not emotional, but hey, some people feel real hard. So anyways, the body is inherently powerful. It's our job is to get the kid familiar with her inherent power. As a coach, we also have to see and believe and know, really believe, we have to know, it's a knowing, that they have power. So you get these, like, I got this real skinny, I got a kid, I got this, anyways, they're going slow. I got this girl that is really skinny, of course, or bony, right? And she's constantly told, oh, those skin and bones, no muscle, no power, blah, blah, blah. And then, so she goes from that, believing that, and moving, like she has no muscles and no control. And now she's one, not the best vaulter, but up there, cleanest. She's bouncing, she's moving because she's organizing her body. She's taking what she has and utilizing it to the best of her abilities, becoming most efficient. So what's the point of this video? Let me remind myself so I stay on track. I think I'm still on track. Everything is internal. So our job is to get them to sense what's going on within, because even the idea, like I said earlier, of bounce, these forces, these actions, they take place within the body, or at the very least, if they're external, they pass through the body. And it's what's happening as it's passing through the body, and where is it getting leaked? Well, I gotta go. Where is it getting leaked out of the body, meaning the energy? I like to compare it to like a fire hose or a water hose. If the stream is coming out pretty strong, it's clear where it's coming out. If you bend the hose, the energy will come out wherever it's aiming. Also, equally, if it has a hole in it, the force of the water coming out the hose is, I'll say, depending on the size of the hole, is reduced, whether minimally or drastically, depending on the leakage on the way out. So considering we have the similar, let's say, yeah, we have this water body mostly, and as we're bouncing, it's doing these things and creating this, this energy and momentum, not creating it, kind of aligning with it. Either way, so as we're tumbling, we have to recognize where do we feel the heaviness, where do we feel the effort, because usually where we feel the most effort, in the back, in the belly, in the elbows, in the knees, usually is where we're getting caught up. Now, like we talked about before, we have to look at the source. That's the end result of how we're moving prior to that moment. So sensing what's going on as it's happening, presence, is key to establishing and maintaining control, which leads to mastery of the skill or the sport. Self-mastery. So everything's internal. And it goes even deeper than that, because where attention goes, energy flows. So if we're not thinking properly, if we don't have the proper knowledge as to how something should operate completely, automatically we deal with problems. We have issues, we have struggle. And what I like to say is this: if you don't take the time to do the right thing or to do it correctly, automatically, by default, you struggle with the wrong thing. And I have to say that again. If you don't take the time to do the right thing, automatically you struggle with the wrong thing. So it's like, it's a choice. Do we want to keep struggling with this thing? Do we want to feel sensationalized, feel like I'm going through this thing and it's justified because of I'm trying this word try. We'll talk about that later. Or are we doing our best attempting to figure out how to actually accomplish this thing, knowing what it actually takes? So you can compare that to, like, I had another girl on vault. She they know that they're supposed to get to that angle bomb, so rotated, C shape, whatever, and then open. They know you're supposed to get there. How many girls are actually paying attention long enough to see if they're truly getting there before they bounce back? So I had a girl, I talked to her like that. What do you at? You know you're supposed to be there, and it's this specific shape, this angle. It's that. If you don't feel that, you must know that you missed the mark. And it's not about better. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's not about, okay, do it better. It's like, you can do that. You're capable of it. What's holding you back is all these mental, see, we're coming back up out of the body into the mind. What's keeping you from doing that is everything that you think may happen. You see? So let's get them into the body. And once I got her into the body, boom, round off, bah, Yurchenko, woof, flying. I didn't need to teach the block. I didn't need to teach. Of course, we want to teach the block, and refine all these parts of it. But we need to understand how the thing works as a whole. We need to understand how it works as a whole. As a whole thing works. How the whole thing works as one piece. Wholly, fully, completely. And this is what we're talking about. Perfection is complete. It's completeness. So get them to feel. Even you. What does it feel like when you go for those things? Let's be honest. A lot of us coaches get involved with, we end up sounding like how we were coached. I don't like how we grew up. So, it's a lot of self-reflection. It's hard to see. It's hard to be present. A lot of distractions. We talked about that. Presence versus distraction. There's a lot of distractions, and even those are internal. So everything is happening on the inside the head, inside the body. It's the awareness and the attention of it that creates the mastery, that creates the success. And the kids that grow up being taught properly as far as physics, or just simply put through the right thing, so there's little clutter, and they just, I don't know how you can't do it. It's that kind of thing. I don't know how you just it's not, you just that comes from correct sensations, being taught to feel properly. You have to be careful to not get caught up in, first of all, the levels, USA Gymnastics and their levels, in the skills, and that's what I wanted to get to, actually, the skill work. Skills. You get everyone, oh, you need to get this skill, that skill, these skills, work skills. There's no such thing as a skill. This is my philosophy. There's no such thing as a skill. There's no such thing as a Magyar. Magyar is a guy. There's no such thing as an Onodi. Onodi was a name of a woman. It's not even the woman. Okay, but let me not get that far into it. But those are people somewhere. A Magyar, when broken down to its core parts, is a circle, a series of circles, which is one circle, one repeated again and again. It goes from here and it steps there, and it steps there, and it steps there. So, oh, I'm fighting for the Magyar. Where is your attention? Making it. What? Making what? The Magyar. Who? What is that? What is? Show me Magyar. So my point is, show, demonstrate the parts that make up what we call Magyar. So focus on how well you complete one circle. And the better that's completed, the better you complete said circle, the easier it is to make that step to the pommel or to the middle or wherever you intend to travel this bad boy. Focus on the steps, focus on the process, the sensations of the movement. And then next thing you know, you're across this horse. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you've completed the skill, quote unquote. And it's a deeply enjoyable process because, again, when you get out of the head and you descend and come to the body, there's peace there. There's quietness in your center. You know? So that's my thing today. Everything is internal. Get them to feel what's happening when it's happening. Last thing. One tip to get them to do that is this. Ask them, okay, say if their head's coming out. I want you to recognize, I love the head coming out. I want you to recognize the moment the head goes from correct position, the moment it not gets arrives at the incorrect, the moment it loses its correct position from here to when does it begin to lose, to be lost, or to exit its shape position? And what happens is they become deeply present in the moment and the movement. And usually the mistake doesn't happen because they're now paying attention to the proper things. They're actually, or just simply paying attention. Sometimes you're surprised, just go and just going. So paying attention. It gets them to pay attention, gets them connected with their body and the movement in real time. And typically the mistake doesn't happen. Or if it does, they go, oh, they can tell you when it happens. And it's usually well before the obvious point and when we recognize that it's out or that the knees are bent. It's funny. It's not funny. It's how the body works. It's like, man. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to get any further into it. So enjoy. Take what you can from that. Criticize what you want from this talk, please. I love a good debate. I'll even say it, a good argument, as long as we're seeking, the truth. I'm like, ooh, that's better. If it's better, then I'm fully with it. But if I still see my version, then hey, that's what it is. Better is better. All right, enjoy. Peace.